feeling, man?
I'm good. How you feeling?
Okay?
Yeah.
No.
I hear you've been going through some stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I hear that too.
Welcome to Egomaniac, episode 6. It's your boy, Lieutenant Scratch Retina, and Kyle, the mild child.
Wild style.
With the... It doesn't matter. 5 questions for Kyle. Oh, shit, I'm not mic'd up.
Oh, shit. All right, welcome to episode 6 of Egomaniac Podcast.
Do I go?
Yeah.
It's your boy, John McKenzie, a.k.a.
Mechanic or something? Some kind of mechanic?
Well, I was going to let you fucking...
Some
and
kind
the
of
mild
lieutenant.
child,
Yeah.
Kyle Hopper.
Wild style, mild child.
Gentle Kyle,
Weren't,
episode 6.
Aren't you some sort of lieutenant this time?
I was going to say Lieutenant Scratch Retina because I got a fucking scratch retina.
We'll say it.
Lieutenant Scratch Retina of the owl, my eye military. 5 questions for Kyle. On February 6, 2017, you saw Angel Olsen at the Mohawk here in Austin, Texas. At 2:31 a.m. the following morning, you posted a since-deleted stock photo of Angel with the caption, "Rock star in the streets, porn star in the sheets," leading some to believe you had slept with her after the show, and even more people to believe that you had relapsed. What was meant by that post, and do you consider yourself a rock star and a porn star?
I don't recall that post, and I decline to comment on the other 2 questions.
5 questions for Kyle. What is the angriest you've ever been at me besides that one time?
Oh, man, besides that one time.
Which will never, ever be discussed on this podcast.
Well, maybe. Episode 17, I think, is what we said for that.
Do we?
Yeah.
5 questions for Kyle. Question number 2.
Okay, question number 2. I would say, damn, that's a good one. Most angry.
Take your time. We can edit this.
Okay. Let me think about that then. Most angry I've been at
I
you.
couldn't think of it.
I can't. Nothing comes to
I don't
mind.
make anybody angry.
Most angry I've been at you besides that one time.
You got nothing?
Damn, I feel like there's got to be some shit related to like you like talking about just talking too much, like telling somebody.
What about
some
that
shit.
time? What about that time that we were hanging out with some chicks? I don't remember who the girls were, but it was me and Matt, and we were like busting on you real hard. It's really like the Navy SEAL of anger. All right, 5 questions for Kyle. All of your cousins have surrounded you in an angry mob. They have turned on you and want you ousted from the family tree for eternity. Do you, A, take a passive kneeling position in an attempt to plead for their reasoning? B, single one member out and beat him until he or she is mortally wounded as a counteroffer, thereby asserting your dominance? C, launch a fevered defense on the pack, clawing, punching, and gnashing your teeth like a wild animal? Or D, go willingly?
Ooh, I think probably A. I'll plead for their Acceptance.
Caw! Caw! You have lost your battle against your cousins, and the crows have descended on your battered carcass. What are your final passing words to the youths of America? Caw! Because you...
Don't take yourself so seriously.
That's pretty good. I feel like that's what old people say.
That's what dying people say.
Yeah. Life's too short to get angry.
Right. It was fun. It was yeah.
Your will was
rip.
accidentally left in your ass where you hide it, and nobody bothered to retrieve it at your gruesome open casket funeral. Who gets what and why? You don't have much shit.
Yeah, I don't have much stuff.
Who gets the Lexus?
Yeah.
Laser.
Be for real.
My brothers.
Which brother? Were they gonna split a Lexus?
Yeah, they can.
Which one?
It'll just be at the house. They can figure it out.
You're a dickhead even after
No,
death.
they can sell it, split the money, go on a trip.
Who gets your records?
I don't have many. I have like 9 records.
Isn't that in a song? What's that? Oh, it's a country.
Take your cat and leave my.
Oh, I think it's
sweater.
like not. It's a country song, but it's also somebody else.
Didn't you say
sings
something
it.
about records in that?
Like steal all my records?
That's
tell
Ryan-
all
Ryan
my
Adams.
friends. But it's a country guy sings it too.
Yeah,
Cross Canadian or something like that.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure. they
Randy
covered it.
Rogers, Stoney LaRue, one of those guys.
Written by Ryan.
5 questions for Kyle. Up next, we got Kyle's idiom.
Kyle's idiom of the week.
We really, really, really need to rename that.
Kyle's idiom of the week. Idiom of the week. Break the ice. We're gonna break the ice.
Idiom of the week. It's like doesn't roll off the. 5 questions for Kyle is already fucking convoluted enough.
Yeah.
Idiom of the week.
Kyle's idiom
That's
of the
like
week.
so clunky. Like sounds like a
You just gotta say it in one.
like a fun exercise at a corporate event.
Kyle's idiom of the week. Kyle's
Okay.
idiom of the week.
What is it?
Break the ice. Break the ice. It means. Do you know what it means? Do you know what break the ice
Okay,
means?
let me think about that.
Well, you know what it means first. Like when you
No,
say it.
yeah, but let me see.
Okay.
Let me think about the context it might be used in. Break the ice. I would say that it has something to do with the Jewish
Culture.
people, because they love to like
Break things at
smash
weddings.
things and
smash
like
things.
and to cause union, to represent union.
That's a pretty good guess.
They break things.
What do they say when they smash the glass?
Mazel tov.
It's off. No, it means, so the meaning is to break off a conflict or commence a friendship.
Yeah.
So the origin is back when road transportation was not developed, ships would be the only transportation and means of trade. At times, the ships would get stuck during the winter because of ice formation. The receiving country would send small ships to break the ice to clear a way for the trade ships. This gesture showed affiliation and understanding between two territories.
I should have known that. I could have guessed that.
You didn't. You guessed that it was a Jewish ritual.
Yeah, but if I thought more about it, like I kind of knew that. Like I would have guessed that second.
Cause idiom of the week.
Up next, we got product placement. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
And then we'll be
It's not
back.
a sponsor.
We'll be back after the product placement with
Wish it was a
Trey
sponsor.
Hudson. You know Trey Hudson?
Yeah, he's gonna help us with our sponsor from our corporate sponsor.
And then we'll have him on as a guest after.
We're not endorsed by our product placement.
Hey, my main man, how you holding up?
I've never been better. Never been better for a guy that didn't get a wink of sleep last night.
What's a big bear like you doing not getting any sleep?
I'm not gay. I was up all night with my new girl, Glory. Yep, that's right, you heard it. Not Gloria. Her name's Glory. And let me tell you, she lives up to her name.
Sounds weird and exotic. I take it your divorce went through?
That's what I said. I've been partying like a mad. I've been partying like a madman.
Yeah, it sounds like that lack of sleep is catching up to you. You sound like you're getting sick as hell.
Don't worry. I have my Welch's Welch's sparkling grape juice.
Living fast and loose.
At Welch's, we understand that life gets busy. Unfortunately, busybodies are at a higher risk of harmful oxidants that cause disease and inflammation. Welch's Concord Sparkling Grapefruit Juice isn't just delicious grape flavor. It's packed with powerful antioxidants to keep you healthy and on the go.
All I need are my antioxidants, and I'm ready for round 2.
Cheers. Cheers. And round 3, and round 4, and round 5.
All the rounds. Hubba hubba.
Welch's, for your health, for your happiness. All right, this week we have Trey Hudson. Why don't you introduce him? You're better at that. Trey Hudson. 5 questions for Kyle.
All right, welcome back to Egomaniac Podcast, Episode 6. This week we have the infamous Trey Hudson on the podcast.
Famous for all the wrong reasons.
Infamous for all the
Trey,
right reasons.
You hear us talking about radio, coffee, and brewery, and beer.
That's right.
Brewery, beer.
He started as our favorite barista.
Right.
Is that how you say it? It's
Barista, that's correct.
Barista?
Yeah, barista, with a W at the end.
Baristo.
I'm more cultured than you.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Trey's our favorite barista.
And now he's our favorite friend. And so we brought him on to the podcast. He's interesting and got...
Did you need something, Laser?
Yeah.
You just messed that up.
Quiet on the f***ing set. Bush League. Laser, our PA Laser got cut. She's got like 5 tattoos this week and got bangs in her hair, so she's feeling all spicy.
Losing a lot of blood.
Losing a lot
She's
of blood.
lost a lot of blood this month.
Fucking got her ringtones going. Her Nextel chirp's been going hog wild. Mm-hmm. Her burner phones.
She's got 3 phones on her.
She's
3
got
phones, 3 tattoos.
a lot of hot action going on in Laser's life. We got Trey. We got what do we got going on right now? We got
I think just like what did you have anything exciting go on in your week?
Yes, I had a fucking tire pop in my fudging face because my car isn't doing well, and you know that.
I know that.
And I'm
You
like,
just got a new car, right?
no. I'm looking for a
haven't-
truck right now. I'm looking for a truck, and so I'm like, refuse to repair anything on my car, and it needs lots of repairs. And one of the things, it's shocks and struts are like
Oh, yeah.
not doing well, so
Yeah.
it causes like
It's like every other car built before 1930.
yeah, so it causes like cambering in the tires, and it basically is like a round robin. You know, I have to get a tire replaced, but it's like already throwing the next one out of whack, and it just goes in a big circle.
Tires aren't cheap either, man.
No, they're not.
Probably you're gonna trash it.
Well, I go to this little gentleman across the street from radio. Actually, he's a
tire man, or is he just like in the alley over there?
he's like
tires?
over there. Like he's actually
somewhere
like,
over there. Yeah.
The name of it's Little Gentleman.
It's like between like Jiffy Lube and
Tires.
Discount Tires. It's like, and so I go to him and he sells me used tires, but I haven't been doing that. And I fucking went out and I had my tire was pretty low, and I was like, well, I'll just stop and go fucking fudge and fill this up real quick. And I was doing it, and I already have like,
Dude, it popped when you were putting air in it?
yeah, I already have like anxiety about
that happening?
about being down there. You know, if you've ever like filled up a tire and like
I like to
you're
get
like,
real close so I can hear the air entering the tire.
Yeah.
dude, and it's like
Right
my
up
face
to it.
is kind of near it, and I'm like hearing it.
I like to smell it filling up.
And it goes, now it didn't explode like hot rubber in my face, but it was like, pop! Yeah, like right next to my ear and shit. And so that was upsetting. And I had to call a tow truck driver to tow me over to the tire guy.
Little gentleman.
So I'm sitting there in the little lane to do the deal or whatever over here at Exxon. It's like a parking spot, and I had backed into it, and I'm just sitting there, and this little crackhead dude come rolling up on his bicycle, and he's right there by my face at the machine, you know, at the deal, and he's like, "Hey man, what's going on?" I'm like, "Great." And I can't really go anywhere, and I'm like sitting in there like, "Nothing, man." I'm like playing on my phone. He's like, "Hey man, if you ever need any money, these things got tons in there." And I know the guy that owns that gas station. You know what I mean? He's like, his name's Anwar. I like met him when I first moved into this neighborhood. So I'm like, "Man, that ain't cool." And he's like, "Nah, they don't care. This is like trash out of people's cars." And he's like getting it, and I can't see that angle. And he was like, "Yeah, you got to break the lock." But it's basically
They don't care.
They don't care.
They
Once
don't
you
care
break the
so
lock.
much that they put a lock on it.
Yeah.
You know?
And he just dumping all this shit out, and he's like going through like the inventorying like the stuff that he finds, and he's like, there's lots of money in here. There's lots of cigarettes if you ever need cigarettes. And
Dude, the thing is though, in his mind, he's like, "I'm gonna help this dude out."
he was
You know what I mean?
he was
He's like, "This guy might need cigarettes."
He's
I
like,
got the,
right.
I know
Look,
how to
man,
do
this
it.
is the
he's
tip.
like, this guy's
is
a
the tip.
piece of shit,
Yeah,
and
like,
it's
"Man,
like
I got
yeah.
money.
his car doesn't even
yeah.
his car doesn't even run. It's like at least my bicycle runs.
Yeah.
He's worse than me. And he was like, "Yeah, man, you find pills in here." And so I'm sitting there and forever. AAA said that they would be like over an hour to get there. So I'm like, that guy didn't leave the whole time. And at one point he pulls out a pill and he's like, "Hey man, have you ever seen these ones?"
What was it?
I don't.
What did it look like?
It looked like a quad bar, but it had 3 sections instead of 4.
Somebody
it's-
ate one and gave up.
It's probably Buspirone.
Buspirone?
Buspar.
What is that?
Dang, we
It's
got a pill, man.
I'm not. What is Buspar exactly? I forget what. It's some type of psych med.
Kyle's all, "What did it smell
Yeah.
like?"
It's some
You can
type of.
smell everything.
Yeah.
Does it get you
It's
screwed
It's a
up?
psych med that looks kind of like Xanax, but it's 3.
Yeah, it had like circular ends.
No,
and
it wouldn't. I
just
think it maybe will
It's like an
chill you out a
aspirin?
little bit. No,
kinda
it's not
looked
like
like
an
an
Oh,
aspirin.
it's it can treat anxiety.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it.
It's
okay.
a benzo?
No, it's not a benzo. It's like they'll give them to people.
All I know is that
treatment
dude
and stuff.
pocketed it.
Yeah.
He wasn't like willing to like let it go.
Right.
Because like
not even a
Find
quarter
it and
of
ask
it.
him what it
Yeah.
was.
it was like, you know what it was like? It was like he found a gold coin, but he didn't know what country it was from. So in the end,
Right,
it didn't
right.
really matter to him.
Right.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
he keeps it like you do foreign currency. Like he never actually eats them.
That right
But
there.
he just collects them.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. What does that have number 3 on there?
There's different depending on the brand, but yeah, it's anxiolytic.
Well, somebody lost their.
Use bar was discontinued.
Well,
Okay, so there's off
probably because
brands.
people kept leaving them in their car and sucking them up with a hose.
Yeah.
So he is like, whatever, I'm gonna pocket this. Like he's having a good day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
AAA gets there, they're like hitching my car up, banging it all to hell, and the guy's like, "Hey man, were you born? Were you born in, or do you know anybody that was born in 1964?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. Like I wasn't, you know." And I was like, I wasn't born in 1964, and that number doesn't like ring a bell to me. And he was like, "You don't know anybody that was born in." It reminded me of those like fake preachers that like try to harvest
Yeah,
information,
yeah, yeah. Do you have is there a woman
is there
close
somebody
to you?
in your Is there somebody in your family?
There is a woman close to me.
Give birth.
Yeah.
At one point.
Oh
You know
my God,
anybody that
yes,
starts
yes.
with the
Yeah.
letter J? Like,
Yeah.
I do. Oh yeah.
Jessica.
I'm seeing your face in my mind. Have you given birth to Anyway,
Have you or someone you know ever given birth?
like I thought we established it was me that in your vision. Like he's like, wait,
No, well, it's tricky. God works in mysterious ways.
give me all your money.
All right, so 1964, he wants to know if you're born.
Right, and he was like, all right, well, he's like kind of disappointed because you got this fucking fudging. You gotta like beat me out when I cuss. I'm really trying not to cuss on this thing. Yeah, he's got this coin. It's a penny. You know what I mean? And like it's a penny. And I think that those like maybe were wheat pennies or last year the wheat penny or something like that, or maybe like an Indian head penny. Yeah. It's probably cool, different, whatever. And he was like, "Hey, come here." He was like, "Now I'm gonna give this to you." You know, he's fucking crazy. He's a crazy person.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna give this to you. And then he goes, yeah. And he goes, I want you to pull this out. And it's not for, I need my car towed.
Did he give you the
it's like
the Pulp Fiction?
You put this in a savings.
Yeah,
account?
he's like condescending me.
Yeah, right.
You know, acting like he's like I owe him. You know what I mean? He's like,
it sounds like he's giving you the story of from Pulp Fiction, Christopher Walken. You know what I'm talking about? Your father.
oh yeah, the watch thing, but it's
thing.
not the watch.
Right.
It's like he just found this in a vacuum machine
Right.
at an Exxon,
But it's got the value of the watch. Yeah, somehow.
and he's like, you know, like psychs me. He's like, no, this isn't for I need my car towed. I want you to pull this out when something serious is going down. And I'm like, all right, you know. And I'm not the type of person to like turn something like that down, you know, because it's like.
And that's probably the most serious shit that's going to happen to you. Let's be real.
right. What?
Like, we don't live a crazy life anymore.
No.
That is probably the craziest.
It's like, this is that coin.
I feel like any interaction with a crazy person is serious, you know, or has the potential to be.
Last will and testament.
That's true. Like next time you run into a guy like him, that'll be the time that's serious enough to be like, you know what?
Or it's at least
I got something
give
for
it
you.
back.
Yeah,
least
or different grid.
Turn around, he forgot.
it's at least serious to them. Like everything has like a sense of gravity to a crazy person, you know. Everything's like life and death and like prophetic and
the next thing could send them over the edge.
right.
Keep 'em
You
tethered.
know, you don't want to like decline a crazy person's gift. And so I was like, all right, man, you know, I really appreciate this. And he psychs me again. He goes, but you got to catch it. Like that was the caveat that the powers that be told him.
Yeah.
If you don't catch it, you don't deserve it.
And he was like, are you ready? And I was like, yeah. And he like flicks it up in the air and I snatch it out of the air and he goes, all right, it's not for you're getting your car towed. Like,
how do you think it would have gone down had you missed it?
he would have picked it up and
No, watch out.
yeah, he would have picked it up and been like, you don't, you know, like, and this is something for the viewers. They don't know this, but there's like lore surrounding like sobriety chips like that. Like when you get a chip, if you drop it on the ground, it's like bad luck. Have you ever heard that?
I've heard it probably.
You've heard that,
Yeah,
you know?
probably,
Like when I had like a year sober, I thought that was like
You're like, don't drop the chip.
dead serious, you know, like if I do this I'll drink again.
Yeah.
You know, like it doesn't matter
and that's within like 12-step programs where they give chips.
Yeah, in 12-step programs, they give
yeah.
chips indicating like different lengths of sobriety. But anyways, he gave me the coin. I've got it right now.
1964.
Well, let's see. Let's see what it is. I hope I didn't lose it, because that guy would be PO'd
He's
at me.
watching this.
Yeah, he is. I thought I shoved it in here somewhere.
He's gonna show up. I knew you didn't deserve it. You scum.
Yeah, right.
He has it.
Yeah.
And he had it the whole time.
Right.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
1966.
1966.
No, it's just a regular penny. There's nothing
Nothing
crazy about it at all.
It'd be funny if his.
It's probably bad luck to get rid of it, though, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
It's like stuck to my wallet now. I can't ever get rid of it. Like they make movies about that shit,
That guy's gonna
Do they?
relapse if you drop it, dude.
What movie?
Like several.
like horror
Pulp
movies.
Fiction.
horror movies,
Pulp
like
Fiction, yeah. Yeah, they
horror
make Pulp
movies are like that all the time. Like where somebody like
gets something stuck in their wallet.
No, like a gypsy will give you something and be like,
Oh yeah, and it's got lots of power.
yeah, and they're like, if you ever lose this,
But you never know that it had power until you lost it.
well, they kind of
right?
tell you, and you're like,
Right.
whatever, you're
Yeah,
crazy,
I'm a
gypsy.
shithead, I don't care.
Yeah,
Right.
like, all right, gypsy.
You throw it off
lady.
the bridge,
Yeah, I'm real
Yeah,
skeptical
and then
about
and then-
it pops back up, and like
Yeah, and you
it
got
ends up
some
under your pillow. Or something.
yeah,
scary ass doll chasing you around
right,
now.
like the mask.
Yeah,
But yeah, he just
That
had a
was
lot
not a horror
of
movie.
he didn't he really stressed that it was not for some little bullshit like getting my car towed. Like that wasn't a bad enough day to
Right.
take it out is all he said. That was
Yeah, it's like
really-
when you don't have drug money. That's when you pull that.
That's
out.
that's when you
most
pull it out.
important.
It's like, man, I need this extra penny
Right.
for some heroin.
Yeah.
You know?
I only had $49.99.
I'm almost there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he thinks I should do for that. Now I understand that. Well, anyways, how was you got anything? You
yeah,
got any
nothing-
gypsy,
nothing too-
homeless people.
No gypsy homeless people. Week was pretty normal. Went and saw Bobby Lee last night in Houston. That was fun.
Oh, nice.
Saw Twain up at Radio with Trey on Friday. That was cool.
Did you put them on their Instagram story?
Yeah.
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 They sounded good.
Yeah, he's real good. Or yeah, it was just him doing a solo thing, but yeah, he's really good. Played a short set, but it was cool.
Yeah,
Bobby Lee was
Jack
really
was
funny.
very,
Yeah, Jack was
felt
very
slighted by
disappointed.
the fact
Jack
that they said,
Parker.
that was really short, huh?
Yeah.
That was really short, though, right?
Yeah.
You felt slighted that the guy
I
didn't
guess.
play a long
Didn't play
set.
along.
He
We
said
had-
that like 6
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like,
We had been there since like 7:30 p.m. He played
Yeah,
at
right.
like 10,
I know,
15
but
or 10:30. But yeah,
it's not like
I thought it was
you're not
great.
kicking it up there anyway.
No, it was free. Yeah. So that I got a tattoo for the first time in 5 years.
Show the stand up and show the camera.
We'll just put it on the camera or something.
Let me see it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
let me feel how dry that baby is.
Yeah, I told him to ask you.
I got
he tried to ask me like, "Oh, you got some lotion?" I'm like,
I look like a heroin
I'm out the
addict.
game.
I usually do in my fanny pack, but I haven't
Yeah,
replenished
that's right.
I
I look like a heroin addict, John.
I got some chapstick if you want to rub it on there.
You like that?
You know,
Yeah, I don't know.
worked out pretty nice.
You got a little holiday in there.
No, this is unrelated. I got blood drawn.
Let me see that. You got a little holiday in there, looking
What's
like
that?
look at that big old hollow spot.
So that what else?
Could be better, right?
Yeah, I don't think I did anything else this week. No, what about you, Trey? Did you have a good week?
I had a great week. I'm getting divorced. I'm feeling
Jesus
good about it.
Christ.
I'm sure Cora will watch this. What's up?
Hey Cora, what's heard it
Hey,
was
Cora.
amicable.
Yeah, everything's good.
Yeah, sure.
And I found housemates. So we bought
Okay.
a house like 6 months ago. I'm keeping the house.
Oh, is Jack
Parker's
Parker's gonna move
Really?
in?
Yeah, and
Who does he live with now?
A couple, some friends
Yeah,
that he knows through sobriety.
Who are they?
I don't know.
Kathy and Dave.
Kathy and Dave
Thompson.
Thompson. Yeah, that's right.
Smith Thompson.
Smith Thompson.
Smith
Kathy and Dave
Thompson.
Smith Thompson. They own the Chevrolet.
So, anyways, you got new roommates.
Yeah,
They're cool.
June 1st. June 1st is gonna happen.
Jack and who?
This woman named Larkin. She actually works. She said on Woodward in like 71 somewhere. So right over here. In this
Yeah.
So
I wonder
told her-
where.
She hasn't even seen the place. I
Uh-huh.
just told her what the rent was, and she was like, "All right, cool.
Is she hot?
Like you're gonna want to see this." She's like Lady Jack Parker. Not so much. As
So
far as,
yeah,
like,
she's
well, no,
hot.
I think
Yeah.
Jack's like a hot dude.
Jack's
Yeah.
a beautiful man.
He
He's
is
got
a
like
beautiful man,
like
but
an
Larkin,
element of
more like
androgyny.
style. Like she's got her hair's cut short, like ginger-ish blonde, and always wears a denim jacket, like similar mannerisms, but
Did-
not necessarily look the same.
Did Jack get bangs yet?
I think he's working on it.
Oh
Okay.
my god,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah, he saw Laser's bangs.
thrilled if he got banged. I would be over the moon
Sorry.
about it.
Yeah, some like glam rock shit.
Yeah.
Male
Like
bangs
Kyle's
are
wig.
kind of
Yeah, exactly.
male bangs are kind of coming in a little bit. You
Are
know,
they?
I might need to
Are
grow
they?
my hair
Yeah,
out.
they're in.
Just
Post
do it.
Malone got him.
Oh, he did,
Did
didn't
he?
he?
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Yeah, Post Malone had him.
Well,
He had him back when he was on H3 podcast.
Jack would look badass with bangs.
Yeah.
We were talking
Well,
about Jack being
He needs more face tattoos.
Yeah, he did. He got baby bangs.
We were talking about him
Forgot.
having both.
Sexes.
Being
intersex.
intersex. Because what were you telling me the other day?
Oh, yeah.
He seemed pretty laid
Okay.
back about hearing that.
Maybe we could fact check this by the time
This comes
right?
out, yeah.
But the percentage of the population in the world that are ginger, the same proportion of the population is intersex, being born with both sexes, both genitalia.
But not
They're
the same demographic.
Yeah, that's what I
but
said.
that's what Kyle
And then he
said.
came
He's
up
like,
with
maybe
Jack,
they're
yeah.
the same people. Maybe that's
What if
why
they
like,
were?
Maybe they're the same one.
What if they were? They
every
would.
ginger
all
is
it-
intersex.
all
They would have
gingers
figured
are
that out
intersex,
quick,
yeah.
like
Yeah,
in the
Right, it would be well known.
1910s.
They
they
would
would-
have survived.
right.
Everyone with red hair
Right.
would have been like, ah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't it funny when it comes to like, it's like some things are like revered and like considered like sacred and special, but if you're born in this era, but if you're born in this other
like
and
the
lucky
beauty
era,
standards change.
yeah, there was a time like in like Egypt or some in Thailand or something like it might be Thailand actually where intersex is like considered considered like that's the
Like
fucking
you're closer to God.
they're kissed by
somehow,
God.
or something.
Right, yeah. And was there any time where they said gingers were kissed by God?
I don't know, but I
If they're
know
all
in the
intersex.
Wild West,
Jack, it's on you, man.
Jack's kissed
Show
by
us
God.
your
yeah,
genitalia.
in the Wild West, you would have been drowned in a pillow sack.
Yeah, so now it's up
in
to
a
you to
crick.
prove that you're not
Yeah,
intersex.
you're lucky. It's 2019 because your ass would be
Grass.
driven out on a rail. Will you do that next time? Because I've
He's
said
asked you-
it.
This is the second time he asked you.
That he said driven out on a rail.
I know what it means.
Yeah.
Driven out on a rail. It's a big fudging.
West times.
Yeah, it's a railroad like pylon, like the big square.
Yeah.
They would take people and hog tie them on one of those,
And
and
just
then all
follow
the
them out of town?
townsmen would be like rabble, rabble, rabble,
So
rabble,
what do they
rabble.
do afterward? Do they just like leave them on the rail hogtied in another city? It's like it's
They
just
like out into the
just, like, off
woods,
into the
or
woods
yeah,
and
out.
wait for
Out of
feral
sight, out of
animals,
mind.
just, like munch on
It's
them.
done. We
I
did
think
our part.
they cut them
Yeah.
loose. I don't
Oh,
even
right,
think,
right.
but it's like the
Just so you
act
can't
is
get
so dramatic and humiliating that
That
it's
you'll
like
never come
it's like
back.
all right,
Come
I
back.
get the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
You guys
I-
don't like gingers.
Yeah, I just didn't get all the subtle hints
Yeah.
before.
Right. It's like how embarrassing for me.
Yeah.
All right.
Driven out on the rail.
Yeah. Well, so can I at least have my Game Boy?
The other part of my week, Lindsay Mears, who's also a ginger, and she doesn't think she is, moved back and we've
Strawberry
started.
blonde.
Yeah, I don't know. Jack said she was a ginger, and Jack's a ginger, so they get to
They probably
decide
know.
who. Yeah.
Also,
She does not have red hair.
telepathic.
She's strawberry blonde.
All right. Well,
Right?
you're not a ginger.
I think
so.
she's on the ginger spectrum.
She's on the spectrum.
Like she's
I think
so
she's on the
pale
spectrum,
and
yeah.
has freckles.
But-
how
and
does
like
she
her hair.
self-identify?
But
She thinks
doesn't
she's
think
not.
Do you have? She doesn't identify as one. So yeah, I guess.
I don't
mean,
really
can
even
you
know what
just-
she looks
I think
like,
that's a
so I
box
don't
you
know what
check,
you're
probably.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you get to self-identify as a ginger.
No, I think I took that too far. I don't think you get to.
Yeah,
I
does
kinda
Jack
think-
do?
I
No.
think this is the thing though. If
But he
you
does.
can't say for sure, if you can't look at someone and go, "You're a fucking ginger," and they don't think they're a ginger, they're probably not a ginger.
I've just,
Hey, what if-
I just never even doubted that she was until she said
And
she
you didn't
wasn't.
even ask what color.
No, it
pubic
was just
hair
like
was
she's
at all?
no. It's
What
just
about
like
Kelly
it's
Lynch,
not-
Kyle?
Kelly Lynch
Kelly
is
Lynch
a ginger.
is a ginger. And a
like
bad
they're
one,
like-
too.
Does she not self-identify as one? John's joking. He doesn't even know her, right?
He's met her, yeah. But
Oh, bad like sexy.
Yeah, bad.
Bad.
Okay, I thought you meant like bad. She's
You're
bad
welcome,
at being
Kelly.
a ginger.
I think they have like the same complexion.
Kelly and
Pete.
Lindsay.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we're playing music together again. That's exciting.
I couldn't pick Mears out
We're
in
gonna
a
start writing
lineup.
stuff. We're doing some covers right now,
Speaking
but we're
of
gonna start writing
writers,
stuff.
I got something for you guys.
And I've started writing again. That's exciting. Okay, so you brought us a writer instead of us bringing
So-
Trey a writer.
You know what? Let's start with.
Yeah,
Kyle.
so this
Can you
is
turn down?
this is abnormal.
Okay.
We do a segment here on Egomaniac podcast called "Here's Your Writer," and what
Trey
we,
asked for nothing. Normally they suggest they'll ask for a writer when
That's
our
right.
guest because they're all egomaniacs.
Right.
Trey actually brought us things this time. Yeah.
yeah, and
Oh, you notice the Dollar General sack because this is where we live.
So
at.
if you're
I live
listening-
in the same neighborhood as John. and-
if you're listening, he's brought us paper sacks, 3 of them it looks like of Are
And
these
so,
like?
should we open them separately so I can?
No, get in there. Man.
Okay.
This is like Christmas at not your family's house.
I like that.
And
Do we all have the same thing?
No. Everyone has like kind of the same flavor. The rule was everything has to cost $1, right? I
Yeah.
got everybody 5 things plus a radio, coffee, and beer gift card.
I got my phone working.
That's what's up. And really, the goal is to get radio to be the first sponsor of Egomaniac podcast.
So
And
I'm helping that.
yeah. So
happen.
we're gonna run it by Jack, and we're not gonna Jack
The gift
Big
card
Jack.
is, I should say, the gift card is also only $1 because
radio.
I didn't know what sticker you guys wanted. That's the only thing you could afford with a $1 gift card.
I like that. Well, hold on. This will go for the table. We're always looking for new stuff for the
Yeah.
table. It
This
drives
mushroom.
That was only $1.
it drives
That's
a
crazy.
drives laser nuts.
Yeah. So thanks.
So
This is disgusting.
and I'm all about
Oh
it.
yeah, and also
God,
you said you were gonna get a new
What
ride,
is that?
so I got your air freshener.
I love it. I love it. And that will drive Kyle nuts.
Yeah.
He hates that sort of culture.
Is this a rabbit
yeah.
to paint?
You know why?
This is my least
Because
favorite
he's
comedy.
rich and he's from a very affluent part of Mississippi called Ocean Springs,
so rich.
and he's very very wealthy, and very wealthy people
Don't
really
like to say the word fart.
they just don't like humor like that. They think it's crass and moronic and just like
Lesser than-
beneath them.
Yeah.
And look, it's blackberry scented, which is strange.
I got.
So you can hang that up in the
Everything's-
Lexus.
Everything.
The fart zone.
Yeah.
Welcome to the fart zone, ladies.
I love it.
You know what?
I love
almost
it.
got y'all a tin sign that said the same thing to hang behind the set.
Oh,
These are
man.
cool. I remember
No,
these
I
from
don't
back
like
in
I'm
the
glad
day.
you didn't. I like this little wishing well. You know, Jack used to go out to a well to fetch water for his family.
I know.
Did you
know that?
I learned that from you on this podcast.
yeah.
Look at these. I remember these. So I got some grow capsules, which you remember these?
Or that you take those and
No,
get
no,
big
no,
and strong,
bro.
flex
You know,
for the
could
camp?
you imagine? No, you put these in a glass of water.
No, I know, but
and
I know what you
they
do.
They turn into
Or you
like
can throw them all into the bathtub at once if you really.
Oh,
just wanna
yeah.
Yeah, if you want to.
They're all,
I want that, John.
they're all Easter themed though. So
Will you
I don't-
swallow
I don't
one?
know about that, but I don't know what would happen.
It'd
Like,
probably be dangerous.
you know what?
to swallow.
You know what would happen
Yeah.
is even if it didn't kill me, it would make me sick, and then I'd have to go to the hospital.
Let me see him.
I'd go to the hospital, and the doctor
You'd be like your dog, basically.
would be like, "What the hell are you thinking?" It's always people like you that
Right.
don't
You
have
sound
health.
like a really judgmental doctor.
Oh, they
Yeah.
are.
Let
Yeah.
me tell you what the fuck.
Doctors are completely judgmental, and he would say it's always people like you that don't have health insurance
Yeah,
that
right.
pull shit like this
Not
and
the Kyles of the world.
and clog. Yeah, not wealthy, affluent. I thought these were real eggs, but they're
Bro, I actually want to try those.
crack them
Chocolate
up, crack them
caramel
open,
marshmallow eggs, and they actually
But they come in like an
a
egg
styrofoam
thing.
egg carton.
crack them open, and don't eat it directly into the mic because
I
that's
got you. Oh yeah.
I love this. Kyle.
Kyle, don't waste them.
Don't waste what?
Now Kyle has been quoted many times over.
Saying my heart beats.
I hate patriotism. I always have. That's a real quote.
That's not a real.
No,
quote.
it really
What does it
is.
say?
Because it was one of the times that I laughed the
Yeah.
most. Because it was so you weren't joking around. Somebody said something patriotic.
Got it.
Somebody said or did something patriotic.
I didn't
We
say
saw
I
it.
hate patriotism. I
Take
always
this
have.
opportunity to talk about the next major holiday.
Easter.
Dude.
Easter.
I didn't even know. You
and
go
they
into
get-
places like Dollar General, CVS,
And you find out
Walgreens,
what.
You find out what holiday.
Trey's a real one.
So
He
true.
put the receipt in there. That's how you know people like me and Trey are poor, and people like Kyle are rich. They lose their receipts. They don't. They mean nothing to them.
1624.
Yeah, he even knows the number. Here, put
It
this.
is fucking 1624, dude.
Put this over there.
1624.
He knows numbers better than you. Welcome to the fart zone.
What you got there? Glacier, cherry. You notice I got you the trashiest shit I could.
No, this is the good one. These are the ones they
No,
sell
but
at like
Glacier
Target for $1.
But that's a little fan. That looks fancy.
It looks
You know what
fancy,
I'm
but it's
saying?
not.
My dad tries to always get me those like as a substitute for a cocktail when I go to his lake house, and they are.
Let's try it.
They're dirt cheap.
Yeah.
I need my antioxidants. and vitamins.
Actually, that looks.
Do you know what's funny about the product placement is I pulled stats from a real Welch's commercial because you can find the scripts online.
Yeah.
And the whole antioxidant bullshit.
That's real. That's what
It is, but it was, and this is funny, we could have used this in the news, but Welch's got a lot of traction in 2017 or something because they developed an ad campaign for Gen Xers.
Whoa.
Yeah, to try to get them drinking grape juice.
Man, that fucking. I'm starting to realize that we're not the fucking group anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's advertising.
Nobody cares
to
about
us anymore.
They're like
we just capped that. We're like we're out of that age range.
Right.
Like, fucking 11.
We'll be back.
24.
We'll get back into it though.
We'll
right?
get back into it,
As
and
we get older.
it's not going to be great.
As we get
It's not
older,
gonna
they'll
be-
start saying like
prescription
diapers and
medicine and shit.
prescription
like that.
meds. Yeah, diapers
But now that
for
just goes to
incontinence,
everybody. It's
Viagra.
like they're telling you how you feel, and they're like, it's normal ass shit.
Yeah.
Like, how are you feeling? Did you put on 2 shoes today when you woke up?
Right.
That's pretty fucked up. Like, take this
Yeah.
pill.
Did you tie them?
Yeah.
Take this
You don't
pill.
have Velcro shoes yet?
Yeah. Does your back hurt all the time? Like, well,
Right.
some of the time.
Some of the time, or and then they throw that in
Are you
after, or
tired?
some of the time.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
What?
Yeah. Does your
Do you
back
get
hurt all the
tired?
time, some of the time, or even ever?
Do you wish you were getting more sleep? OxyContin gets a bad rap.
Yeah. They say that on the commercial.
Yeah.
Oxycontin gets a bad rap, but sometimes.
But you should get some.
right.
They
Everybody
only pay for
hurts.
a 5-second
Decide
spot.
for yourself. What, you a follower?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got Everybody Hurts playing in the background.
Lawyers want to destroy us, but fans of OxyContin say they'll never put it down. But the Welch's people, they can't advertise much. What are you doing? Singing some bullshit, some Goo Goo Dolls?
Yeah. What was the Goo Goo Dolls song, Iris? You remember how that went?
Glycerine.
No, Iris. How did it go?
I don't know. Welch's can only advertise grape flavor and then antioxidants, but the sparkling Concord grape juice doesn't have any the
No antioxidants?
No, no.
The Sparkle just took it out?
Yeah, I had to figure it out what to write.
It was, I don't want the world to see, and I don't think that they'd understand. All right, so let's get into.
Thanks for the rider.
Thanks for the rider, Trey.
Thanks.
Welcome, guys.
The best thing.
Christ.
The best thing is this little llama. I don't know what kind of bullshit you got.
Here.
What does your roof say?
10 cents.
It says wishes 10 cents.
That's funny that they're charging like a specific amount for a wish.
It is funny,
They
and
probably
he's
could've got a
only
quarter.
he's only got a tenth of that. I wish it said 1 cent. He could throw his little penny in.
All right. So up next we got our segment in the news, and we felt like we should bring Trey baby on and get his input on this. All
Get comfortable for this.
right, do your thing.
Make yourself comfortable.
Yeah.
Make yourself at
Mi
home.
casa, su casa.
Yeah.
Here at Studio
67.
Studio 1966.
Studio
I paint.
1966.
Yeah, with the lucky bad omen penny. I like that shit. I wish we all had matching ones, but it's all right because I got plenty of other white trash shirts.
That's Trey's divorce shirt.
That's right, dude.
Cora, look at him now.
Look at what you walked out.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at how sexy.
Look at who you left at the casino.
Green flames.
I bet you him blowing all y'all's savings at
Right.
WinStar isn't such a bad
Yeah.
deal now.
No.
Who knew
Yep.
he was sexy all along?
Yeah.
Went to WinStar and all I got was this.
Yeah.
that you walked in with.
Got into a fight with a guy in the parking lot, won and took his shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because yours was all tattered. Yeah.
Yeah. I beat his ass.
Yeah.
All right. So first
In the news.
In the news. 5 questions for Kyle. First article we have here that the lovely Miss Laser with the bangs gave us here.
Bangs
is,
energy drink too. She likes to drink those daily now.
Yeah, it's really.
God.
It's kind of a gross habit.
Not
Yeah.
good.
Who are those made by?
Kinda-
Welch's?
Probably the same people that made Trey's shirt.
That's the reals. Yeah, that's
Bang.
Yeah.
Bang. People in the workout
Bang
community
energy
drink those.
Yeah, but
That's how they tricked me.
Yeah,
Because
but
I thought, I was like, oh, this
You get a
is sort
free
of
t-shirt
healthy.
every time you get one.
I wish.
Kanye to bring Sunday service to Coachella. Okay, I didn't know anything about this. The performance will take place at 9 a.m. on Easter Sunday. When's Easter?
I know a little bit about it.
April 14th. I'm just guessing.
Laser, can you find
Usually
Easter
like
for
the
us?
second.
It's April 21st.
April 21st is
Well,
Easter.
this will be out well before.
So yeah,
then,
I don't know if it's every Sunday, but several Sundays he does this like little Sunday service thing. He'll have like a choir there, and it's in some
Where?
park. I'm not sure. I'm sure it says there, but in some park, he's got like a choir behind him.
He's
and
gone crazy, man.
It's actually really cool. I listened to this one little clip that he had. Because Chris D'Elia had made fun of it, he like did this little Instagram thing. Chris D'Elia, the comedian, where he just like imitated it, and it was
The
really
comedian.
funny. Chris D'Elia, the
Oh, I
comedian.
thought you were talking about the guy that works at 7-Eleven.
I don't think everybody knows who Chris D'Elia is. A lot do, but he's not Louis C.K.
Louis
Or
C.K.,
Bill Cosby.
the pervert.
Or Aziz Ansari.
or Aziz Ansari. I could have went. I guess yeah.
Not Michael
Should we
Keaton.
name one more to like
That
get a
just had a moment?
step away from the Me Too? Yeah,
Not my boy, Joaquin Phoenix.
he's not a comedian.
Nope, not a pervert, just a tortured soul. So
Joker.
so
Yeah,
he's out
Joker.
here.
Yeah, that's gonna be
What do
exciting.
y'all think about that?
About what?
Specifically, John.
So here's something
Sunday.
interesting. Everyone from David Letterman to Katy Perry to DMX has attended, which is I wouldn't look at any of those people as like Christians necessarily. They're
Or even relevant people right now.
right
David
now.
Letterman, Katy Perry, DMX.
What a
David
sh-
Letterman doesn't even have a show anymore. Katy Perry.
He didn't have that
is she
show
still
on-
making-
He does have a Netflix show now, David.
Does-
Letterman.
is it still
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
what?
It's called. He like sits. I forgot what it's called, but he sits down for like an hour and a half
On a
with people.
stage,
Yeah.
and he's
But
got a big
DMX,
beard.
though?
DMX is not
not
relevant.
really.
Yeah,
He was
I'm
in
surprised
prison.
He's not in prison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, he got out.
Okay. Is he still doing crack?
Was that his?
Yeah, he liked crack. a
Really?
lot, yeah.
I had
Yeah.
no idea. That dude
Yeah.
was a beast, though. I know that.
That could have been many years ago. He might be sober for years now.
He's
I don't
like-
know, but he
He's
liked
like
crack a lot.
vilifying him. It's not even true. He's like, I'll have to check. Actually, like,
No, he
maybe it wasn't
definitely,
crack.
definitely at one point smoked a lot of crack.
Either
yeah.
way, he has a rap lyric that says, "You want to fight me, fight these tears."
Damn.
So either
What?
way, you just need to know that.
He needed
Right.
a break.
You just need to know that about DMX.
And what's one of
He couldn't go to
what's-
rehab, so they're like, he's like prison. Is just,
Laser,
I
do you
just
know?
need to
Do you
chill
know
for
off?
a minute.
Do you know off the top of your head one of Katy Perry's rap lines?
No.
I bet you my mom does.
Yeah.
My mom loves
I
Katy
work at a
Perry.
Planet Fitness, so I know some
Firework,
shit.
firework. Something
Yeah.
about a firework.
Yeah.
Something about Eyes of the Tiger.
Baby, you're a firework.
Eyes of the tiger.
Come on, show me what you're
Pretty
worth.
sure.
We are,
Pretty sure
we.
Legit
The eye
has
of the
a played
tiger.
one. Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Yes.
The
eye
So,
of the tiger.
Here he is. He's got a little Twitter post with his head looking like a snow cone. Looking
Tiger
ridiculous.
blood snow cone.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
that is tiger blood. Put some
Yeah.
what do you call it? Condensed milk on there.
You're going.
Wait,
time
what?
With it.
Yeah.
Nah, condensed milk on snow
It's like
cones,
some
man.
Mississippi-
That's
It's
where
like
it's at.
wealthy people
Wealthy
shit.
people.
Yeah,
It's not wealthy
rich.
people stuff. It's New Orleans.
Okay.
There's some wealthy people in New Orleans. Those are plantation houses.
Right, but it's not exclusively wealthy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it, it's
Like
wealthy.
Rampart.
That's it. It's a short article, so he's out there being an asshole. What else is
Easter
new
Sunday.
on
I
Sunday?
feel like Kanye's fucking whole vibe is more provocative than
Yeah.
anything else.
That's what it has been
Like
over
that
the past
fucking
several
meeting
years,
with,
yeah.
with Trump in the Oval Office,
Right.
And they're sitting, and they brought Jim Brown in there too
Yeah.
because Donald Trump needed like another black guy
Right.
there. He's like, here's Jim Brown. Like Jim
'Cause, like,
Brown's like 100. He can't even talk anymore.
Kanye had lost his black guy cred
You know what
kinda
this
with
makes me think
Trump
of?
already,
It's the
so
most
yeah.
bizarre shit I've ever seen.
Kanye announced this on his like private jet. You know, that's where he took to Twitter. He's like, "Hey, I'm doing church now," and it made me think of there's one of those television evangelists,
Like Joel Osteen or some shit.
like one of the older dinosaur looking ones, got caught caught.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't remember his name.
GTFO.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He got not necessarily caught, but he was outed as spending $2 million on a private jet.
But okay, so there's a clip of that same televangelist saying that he was going to spend the money on a private jet.
Really?
Yeah, like it was scandalous
because God wants him to have a private jet.
He was one of those people who were like, if you make a lot of money, you're supposed to.
Yeah,
make
God
a lot
wants
of
you
money.
to
God
live.
wants you to.
God
And
wants
a
you
lot
to
of
live
those guys
fine.
So
do
Yeah.
that
him
to justify it.
him and one of his old dinosaur cronies on his show are like talking about that, and they're like helping each other out. And he's like, I was on my private jet, and I was testifying to God, and I was like, God, I'm catching all this like heat,
Flack.
And I just need to hear you right now, God. And I stood up, and the pilot was like, "Are you all right, Mr. whatever his name is?" And he's like, "I'm fine. I'm just talking to God." And he's like, "Okay, carry on."
Yeah, okay.
And his buddy's like, "Now you would have never been able to do that on a public plane. You're just in a."
You know what, Joel? Or you know what?
He called it like a tube full of junkies.
Whoa.
It's like public transportation now, but still.
He's like,
it's like just because of everyone who doesn't have a private jet.
Christ.
He's like, everybody on there is like all these outliers and sickos.
God.
He's like, you can't talk to God. You can't stand up and talk to God
On a tube full of junkies.
And it might have been like a tube full of losers or something like that.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't do that. And they'll be like, sit down. Like, you can't. And he's like, you need to be able to stand up and testify to hear God. And he's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
God.
they're just sitting there fucking
So anyways,
doing this number. You know what that means?
Yeah.
The Kanye Sunday
What do you
service.
think this means?
Jerking each other off.
Whoa, shake weight.
Shake weighting together and bonding. So the Kanye service isn't so much church. He's like basically doing like beats with with a choir and stuff as well.
But he is religious, though, right?
I mean, like, is he? I don't know.
think he is.
I don't know if he. Yeah, I think he does talk about God and stuff.
He
Yeah.
said performing
Jesus
gospel renditions.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not like there's no like sermon, is what I'm saying. I
I will
guess
say though,
there's no. It's not so much.
Like some of my first introduction.
Dude, gospel music's fantastic. Yeah.
Fucking good.
I like
Fucking
it.
good.
I've gone back to it recently. Like I went, a long time without listening to any sort of like, Christian music and stuff. And I even skipped Bob Dylan's Christian albums for a while.
Yeah.
What about hymns?
hymns? Oh yeah.
Yeah, hymns are great. Sing a hymn.
You know any?
There's I'll
I-
fly away, oh darling.
Oh, but that's like
That's a hymn.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's.
What's another one?
There's one that sounds like I'm Henry VIII, I am, but it's like different. It doesn't matter.
We mumbled the hymns.
Do you remember? Did you ever know any contemporary Christian stuff? Like
Me?
We talked about this last time. DC talk.
DC talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say DC rock.
Mercy
Jesus
me.
freak.
Yeah.
Well,
That dude had a big old face, man.
A big old face. Don't compare him to
DC
anyone
talk.
else.
He said, "Don't compare him to anybody else." There's somebody we know that I'm like
Just because he's
constantly called
mentioned big faces a couple times, so
That's like-
I'm like, don't put that on.
That's
here.
like a rarely used observation about somebody. Like when you can't put your finger on it, so you got to step back sometimes. And
Yeah,
be
I've
like,
heard it as a verb too.
Yeah, like
you
their
can
whole-
big face somebody. You're like,
oh, but that's different. That's like
Yeah.
So here's
So next article,
Cardi B, man. Have you guys heard about this?
I saw a headline.
Okay, she admitted to drugging and robbing men. This is post prostituting herself to him. She would drug them and they would wake up robbed.
Post like within the same when she was prostituting.
Right.
She would drug
so
them.
the event
Okay.
would be-
Interaction.
right?
Yeah,
Same interaction.
yeah, right.
And she quoted, "I had very limited options, and that she had to do what she had to do to survive." So she was stripping at this time.
Okay.
She said, I had to go strip. I had to go, oh, yeah, you want to F me? Yeah. Let's go back to the hotel. And I drugged ninjas up and I robbed them. That's what I used to do, confessed Cardi B. And the video went viral to all her fans. I guess she did this on Instagram Live, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was 3 years ago that she made this admission. And you know how the internet is. People, you can screen capture things.
Right.
And now people are in the business of screen capturing everything.
So this just now like surfaced to the news or whatever?
Yeah, maybe a fan turned on her and was like, check this out.
Yeah.
You should answer that.
Matt Millette's calling me. Let's answer it. Hey, what's up? I'm recording the podcast.
You're on the air right now.
You're on air.
Like right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your guest? Is it
Trey
me?
Hudson. Yeah, it's you. Yeah. Let me call you back and Skype you
We're
in.
talking about old.
Yeah.
What did you think about Cardi B drugging?
Yeah, what is
So
he?
right now we're talking about Cardi B drugging men and robbing them.
I mean, would y'all be surprised if I really didn't even know who Cardi B was?
No,
Who do you think Cardi B is?
I think she's a rapper.
Okay.
Right?
You're good. Yeah, that's it.
Is it hip hop or rap or one of the two?
One of the two.
Are they
yeah.
one and the same?
Yeah.
There's a difference. So,
So what do you
is a
think about
so
that?
that.
Yeah.
Put all that aside. What do you think about a woman in hip hop? It was found out that years ago that she
Probably
used
gonna not comment.
she used to prostitute herself and drug men and then rob
Did
them.
y'all say who I was already?
Yeah,
on
we
air?
said, yeah.
What we said.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no comment.
I
on
figured
that.
you'd decline to comment.
I
Yeah.
We can
I
always
really
cut it
don't.
out. We can always cut out.
I mean,
your
if
name.
that were true, that's pretty. I mean, it's you don't want to mess with her, I guess.
So that's yeah, I guess not.
What do you think
If
about
that
the?
were true, I'm not
Those
saying
guys
it
really
is
should have
true.
done that.
Now here's
So our friend Matt's a big Houston lawyer.
So yeah, he's big time. So he knows.
I'm not actually having my bar.
He has to say that.
Yet.
Okay, he can't. Yeah.
So here's
He
a
soon
question.
will be.
Here's a question for you, Matt. What do you have to say about the men that paid for sex from Cardi B? Do you think that they had it coming?
Well, I think that if you pay for sex, that you're kind of subjecting yourself to some risky behavior. I'll say that.
Right. So you
Because
think
it's already illegal
So
activity.
some
you're-
risky, there's some real risk.
so they're made for each other.
Something like that.
The
Yeah.
victim and the predator and the prey were made for each other.
Is that what you'd say?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say that. I would just say that it's that's a seedy underworld of prostitution. You're gonna maybe run across some stuff like that.
Should
true.
prostitution be legal? Do you think prostitution should be legal?
Yeah.
Do I think prostitution? See, yeah, I can't. I'm not going to comment on that. But I will say this:
Matt's a big time Houston lawyer.
Yeah, that's a big time Houston
No.
lawyer.
look, I don't because I
Prominent.
think that if it were
Layer.
legal, it would probably be more regulated and therefore safer for people. But I'm not saying that it should be legal. I don't think that. Hell, I don't know. People already. You know what? I would be probably more candid if people didn't know who I was on your podcast already.
Well, it's too late.
It's too late.
If you had said John Doe was calling in,
The prominent lawyer John Doe.
See, the illegality behind Cardi B's history is that she was a stripper, and guests of the strip club would proposition her while she was stripping. So she wouldn't advertise herself as a prostitute. So she would be like, sure.
but I don't think that really makes it any different, does it?
Well,
I don't think so either.
I think
How
it
many
shows
people
that these
advertise
guys.
themselves as prostitutes.
I think it's like extra scum.
I think that happens quite a bit. I mean, if you're walking
right.
down
No,
the
that's true.
street
You're right.
Prostitutes
dressed
do.
up,
Yeah.
I think it makes these guys
Right?
extra scumbaggy because they're going to somebody who doesn't promote themselves as a prostitute, and they're turning them into a
But
prostitute.
if she had an angle though, like she
But they don't know that.
luring them in, like, oh, if you just come to the back.
Oh
you know,
yeah,
how much
that's
money
true.
you got,
Well, let's see. Well, she doesn't
Because
really.
I'm sure she would probe them to know how much money they had to begin with, right? So if they're going to the back, they have enough to pay for whatever's about to go
Right.
down.
It says.
All right,
worth
let me Matt. I'll call you back.
Okay.
Wish we could have you on the whole time, but this
Think
is
about it.
uncomfortable. All right. Think about it. Mull it over. We'll have you on another time.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye.
I would be more open to stating my opinion.
Yeah, if you didn't say my name.
About it is, what was the angle of revealing the story? Was it so that she could kind of relinquish her guilt?
Well, she didn't reveal it.
She didn't reveal it.
She revealed it 3 years ago. She was.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like if she said it, and
Was she relinquishing guilt or bragging?
She was nobody.
Or bragging.
Right.
Was she trying to get cred, or was she trying
probably
to be like,
probably cred. I think that she was more, blase, I'm hood, this and that.
Is that what it was? Like hood
At the
cred?
time.
Like I did this.
Yeah, at the time she was stripping to cover album time or production time.
Right.
She put herself.
So she was saying
through,
like, this is how I had to hustle.
Yeah, this is how I'm hustling, because she was nobody when that came out. She was. Well, I take that back. Cardi B, like one of the big things about her is she had this massive Instagram following before she was anything.
A hip hop.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's a growing trend.
Yeah, it is.
Start there.
Is what,
go
prostitution?
pop star or whatever.
Okay. So, anyways, she says there are rappers that glorify murder, violence, drugs, and robbing, crimes they feel they had to do to survive. I never glorified the things I brought up in that live. I never even put in that live feed. I never even put those things in my music because I'm not proud of it, and I feel responsibility to not glorify it.
This is her comment after the news took the thing.
Right after her ass is
Yeah.
catching heat.
Okay.
I have a past that I can't change. We all do. She concluded her post. All I can do now is be a better me for myself, my family, and my future. And that's a typical canned response from a celebrity there.
Yeah, but it's also like, what's a better
else are you gonna
response?
say?
Yeah, what else are you gonna say?
Well,
and I
like,
agree with it too.
The thing is, too, she kind of threw the whole rap game under the bus and said, "This is something that is so prominent in hip hop culture. See, I didn't do anything different."
Yeah, it's
Right?
true.
Right.
We were
She's
just
like
so
kind
it's
of
saying-
throwing some shade on everything else and being like,
almost
"Look,
had no choice."
It's par for the course.
Yeah, it's like
we talked
all
about that
do.
last week
This is
with
what happened.
YNW Melly and him catching up and
With like just basically it's what you're thrown into kind of thing.
What you do, and it's part of your.
But see, it's also one of those things where a lot of the time in hip hop, at least the shit that I listen to, they're not saying that they committed those crimes. A lot of it's like observational, like Inspector Deck.
For sure. Tupac's
He's
a great
like-
example
he's
of that.
looking at what's happening in his neighborhood and
Right.
saying, these are all the things
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
Not
but-
necessarily these are all the things I participate
Well,
in.
Tupac is one of the best examples of that as well. It's
Tupac-
like he took
Mouse
on,
Club, dude.
yeah, he took on this like thug life persona, but it was all observational. You know what I mean? It was
he didn't
all
actually do it.
No,
Yeah,
no,
like,
he was
didn't go
art.
to jail until he was already
Right? No, he was an art school. Like,
So,
yeah, you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
why would she go
But
on
he was
her
brilliant,
album
yeah.
and be like, I drug and rob people? It's like,
And some rappers do actually go, do those things and then rap
yeah,
about
and
them.
some outright lie altogether, like
YMW Melly,
or Rick Ross just lying,
Yeah.
just lying altogether.
right?
He was what was he?
Took his
A
name from
CO.
Freeway, and he took his name from Freeway Ricky Ross. The guy
Yeah,
that-
you really don't like him for that. You went down like a freeway Rick
I did.
Ross. Like,
I watched like a
rabbit
bunch of
hole one time.
YouTube videos of
He was like
Freeway
really
Ricky
talking
Ross.
about him. He's
Fuck
like,
Rick Ross.
he's like, you know what?
Mentioned in life.
He would bring him up.
this week. Fuck Rick Ross.
Yeah, he's like the real freeway Rick Ross, and I'm like, why are you so into
The
this?
real,
And
I'd
he'd, like,
call him the real for sure.
He was like going
I
down.
just started.
this-
Yeah, I was watching a video of the
There was like a
real.
weekend that he was all about it. It was so weird. So, anyways, R.I.P. Cardi B. Is that what happened? She died?
It was like 4 hours that I was all about it.
Yeah. Well, it's still weird.
Yeah,
That's about as long as that.
So rest in peace.
attention span of the millennial.
Cardi. Britney Spears checked herself into a mental health facility, and TMZ broke this, which I think is just the most crooked journal, news organization. But they kind of tapped into this very, very private information. Her dad is dying, and Britney Spears. It's well documented that she's had a history of mental health issues that she struggled with.
At a time that it was less accepted too.
Right,
Like even 20 years ago, 10
where,
years ago.
where people were still like clowning on that shit, and She
Like you did at the beginning.
I never did. Oh, well, the fentanyl, that is bullshit.
No, what?
What do you what
Your story about the penny.
Oh, but he's a crackhead. That's different. That's self-imposed mental health. He's a crackhead.
That's not at all true.
Whatever. Leave a comment. So Britney Spears, like, child pop star, and those people are susceptible to their own fame. I think messes with you, superstardom, And she had paparazzi up her ass every second of the day, and flipped out.
It's not even the fame itself, but I think about the desire to even be famous, right? Like
well,
you at some point need to want it, and then not only that, you need parents that'll support it from a very
when you're a child.
When you're a child, which is also another fucked up thing to deal with.
Totally.
Of like I'm gonna pimp you out to whoever's paying money for this or that. It's for my kid, and I'm just listening to them and doing what they want to do.
So she got her wish, and she had paparazzi crawling up her ass at every turn, and she ended up shaving her head on camera, and I think TMZ broke that.
I can still see that image of her like
bugging out,
bulging, right? She's got a shaved head.
She was swinging a umbrella around. Wielding an umbrella like a battle axe.
I gotta say, man, I might be doing the same shit if I was in her situation.
Absolutely.
And someone had a camera like up your butthole all day.
All day.
Hey, Brittany, let me get a picture.
You couldn't go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
So all these years later, she's a grown woman, and I don't know if y'all remember, she dipped out after that episode. She went to a mental health facility, got better, and I don't know what that looked like. I don't know if she was on probably a combination of therapy and medication, and she was done.
Yeah,
she's like, I'm done with this.
Right.
I have kids.
Yeah.
I have a partner. That's my obligation. Mm-hmm. This is not worth it. And plus, she was probably sitting on quite a nest egg too. She's doing all right, but the fans wanted Britney. They wanted her back, so she made her debut sophomore appearance in the public eye. Well, now her father is very ill. He almost died. Had another surgery, and I don't know if this is it's colon cancer, which is brutal.
Yeah.
And he's really been struggling with it, and went under the knife and almost died, and put her family. Look at her mom; looks just like her.
Just like her. Yeah.
She was having a hard time with that. She hasn't. Here's another interesting thing. She's sober. Or they say she was sober during this whole father getting sick. But she was having some very difficult emotional and mental health issues, so it broke her. She had posted on Instagram just prior to this recent admission into a mental health facility. Fall in love with taking care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit, along with the caption, "We all need to take time for a little me time." That was an Instagram post. And she went into a mental health facility.
Yeah. I feel more sympathy than anything else.
Man.
During that kind of shit. Like, I remember I was young when the first, here's this person that shaved her head, and she got married and got divorced real quickly.
Right.
And then went into a mental institution. It's like, man, something must really be wrong with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then fast forward to now, I see that and I'm like, damn, she's taking care of herself.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To admit yourself, to say I'm not drinking or doing any drugs.
Right. Like I know where this can take me.
Yeah. I know where this can take me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kudos to her. I think it's easy for people to kind of clown on this that have maybe never struggled with something like that. And of course, the three of us are all sober, and we've kind of had different struggles and different things that we've kind of battled with in the past.
And different ways to
achieve
to
sobriety.
achieve
Yeah, right.
sobriety. Yeah.
We've all kind of, but here we are. We're all three sober, and for people like us, that's what really matters. But in our kind of ecosystem, we're surrounded by people that prioritize mental health and we develop a lot. Now you see that day in and day out
constantly
with your job.
Just like co-occurring mental illness and drug use. Is that what you're talking about, or just in general?
Yeah, they call that dual diagnosis, right?
Yeah,
or even just mental illness in general. The thing with this for me is like it's a family history of drug use and not just like drinking. It's like shooting up or smoking meth or my sister struggled with a similar thing, and she shaved her head.
Really?
She lost her kid for a little bit, got her back. Like the uncle was watching the baby. Like all that shit was intimately close and intertwined with what my history of being sober, and drug use, and everything else looked like. So I think too, part of me guards that. Like when shit like this comes up, I'm like, you don't know what's going on.
It hits somewhere.
Really
it hits somewhere close.
You know what I mean?
So it's awful,
right?
I think, man, it just when somebody's going in and really struggling with that, I can't imagine, and I've tried to imagine. So bullying takes all different forms, but there's nothing more lonely than struggling with mental health. It's there's racism and homophobia that targets different demographics, but those people have their people. You know what I mean?
Okay.
When you target a race and you're racist, it's completely fucked up,
Right.
When you target a mental health, like somebody struggling with mental health issues, they're completely alone.
Yeah, well, that's a very lonely thing anyway.
It's super lonely, and then
I'm just curious, with like, is TMZ making light of it, or
they're not?
Or were they just like
they're not picking a side of the fence? They're just trying to make that money,
right? Are people like in the media or whatever bagging on her for it?
I'm sure there's probably some that are, some that aren't.
I really more.
I know that they definitely did then with the head shave stuff. There was definitely tons of being making fun of.
We've had a cultural shift.
That's what I mean. Like I wonder how much. I feel like it'd be much less now,
but not so much that
it wouldn't
pursue digging up this type of information.
But
right.
See, let's just say this though. You see the way that it's written, and it's pretty neutral. You could also put a positive spin on it.
Exactly.
And the article could be written, Britney Spears takes accountability for her mental health and makes brave choice to check herself into a health facility.
But don't you think that's kind of on
that way ever,
Don't you? Yeah, that's kind of on her whether or not she wants to say that. Like,
oh yeah, whether or not it's like a courageous choice.
Well, that's getting into just celebrity in general. Then, like, that's just how
my thing is. Like, whether TMZ clowns on it or not, they rooted up some very private information,
and that's what they do.
And used it's not paparazzi.
That's what they stand
for.
Tabloid.
Yeah, digital tabloid, which I think burn it all down to me. Burn all tabloids to the ground. Really, and while you're at it, firebomb Hollywood.
That just happened. They had some fires out there.
Yeah, they did.
Well,
I guess it wasn't a fire.
Okay, I mean carpet bomb Hollywood.
Carpet bomb.
So R.I.P. Britney Spears. R.I.P. Cardi B and Britney Spears. Look at her. Look at her in this picture. She looks different.
Yeah. How small her hand looks in that.
Look at her face.
Like get that in there.
I don't want to.
And then we proceed to bag on her.
Tiny hands.
We'll talk about her later on.
It's a perspective thing. I don't think she
did. Right. The photo, it looks like she has
work there done. Here last, Nipsey Hussle, and Trey and I were just talking about that. They caught this guy, by the way, Eric Holder, the guy that shot him.
29 years old. That's how
our age
right now.
Man, yours.
Yep, 29.
The guy that shot him, Nipsey was. He had to have been in his early 40s.
You think he was that old?
Yeah,
like
I do.
30s, early 40s?
I think so. How old's the game? The game's young, huh?
No.
Game's pretty
Game's
old.
probably. I mean,
he's in his 40s.
I would say 42 would be my guess.
But that's what I would guess
Yeah.
Nipsey, because they're
Okay.
like,
But it's almost
they're thick as thieves.
like the soccer leagues too. Like rappers usually start early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
some people come on the scene when they're like 13. So even if they've been in the game for 20 years, you're like, oh, they're only
the game's
35.
39 years old.
Yeah, they were pretty
39?
Yeah.
How old's Nipsey?
We'll find out. Read the name of the article, or what is this article about?
The LAPD think they know who. So it's an old article.
So Nipsey Hussle got murdered.
Yeah, Nipsey Hussle got murdered in front of. He opened up his own store in his hood.
He died at 33 years old.
Oh wow, I was way off.
Way off.
Yeah, he had opened a store.
called the Hustle, right?
Yeah, it was like a clothing store that targeted youth and had.
He would hire at-risk youth.
Yeah,
to
at
come
risk
in
youth,
work.
and I think that the clothing had something to do with like
right, like I'm sure some
reforming.
Of the proceeds went to something else.
Yeah. And so that was his whole deal. That was his hustle, if you will. And this is like the block that he kind of came up in, dealt drugs in,
Yeah.
da 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 da. He blew up, had his fame, and chose to go back into. I don't know if this is like Compton. Yeah, L.A., somewhere in L.A. Go back and open up this place. And he got into an argument with somebody. Oh, Crenshaw. Yeah, that's a rough one, too.
Crenshaw.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
That's a guy.
No, it's the area, man.
Oh yeah.
He went out there and called somebody a snitch is what I thought happened. Some guy was out there popping off to him, and he was like, whatever, man, you're just a snitch anyway.
The guy shot him.
The guy shot him.
Came back later, right? And was it like spur of the moment? It was some premeditated.
No, it was spur of the moment.
It was spur of the
Crime of passion.
Man.
The Los Angeles police chief Michael Moore, not related to the director, told
Or not the director.
not the director. KNX radio told this radio station that the disturbance was around 8:30 p.m. and it was triggered by a cascading series of events that caused a lot of turmoil.
Damn.
So
It's not descriptive at all.
Yeah.
So, like you use some words that might be descriptive.
Right.
basically,
Yeah.
what he's saying
Give
is,
us a detail,
is
one
something
detail.
popped off and it got worse over
Yeah,
time.
we know he's dead. dude.
Yeah.
It was
Clearly,
hectic.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly, there
So-
wasn't a good ending.
I think
yeah.
what it was is the parking lot was. I saw the footage, so they have footage of this happening.
Do they really?
Yeah, and you can't.
Damn.
You can't tell. You can't make out faces, but you can tell who's Nipsey, and you can tell who the shooter is.
Right.
But they just look like this, these hazy, staticky figures on this security footage. But you see Nipsey drop, and then
God, that's gnarly.
the everybody like scatters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's broad daylight. It's 8:30 p.m. But it's daylight out. And so evidently there's arguing, and they're kind of doing this, ripping on each other, and the guy wasn't too fond of some of Nipsey's retorts.
It's so crazy that that's such an accepted resolution to problems
Right.
sometimes.
Right.
Like we were talking about it outside, and you're like, that's just how it goes sometimes. Like so this guy, you get called a snitch, and that's like the ultimate sin.
So I have
And
to kill
it's
you.
like punishable
Yeah,
by death.
by death.
Like punishment does
Right.
not fit the crime in that scenario.
No, it doesn't.
We were talking about the fact that you could just like, why don't you just fist fight? You know what I mean?
Right. Squab.
Well, Nipsey called the guy.
See what happens,
Right.
And then you'll get over it.
Nipsey
You don't
called-
have to spend the rest of your life in jail.
And evidently, I don't know if the guy was a snitch or not, but they're arguing, and I guess the argument started because that guy was coming around his shop, and Nipsey was like, "Get out of here! You're not welcome around here because you're a snitch, and you snitched on whoever, some Crenshaw,
Lil Crenshaw.
Crenshaw thug, and that was my boy, and you're a rat."
Right.
And that's like the ultimate sin, and the guy was like, "I might be a rat, but I'm also a murderer."
Yeah, right. Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Right.
I'll
And,
show me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kill you.
Exactly.
Right.
I'll show
Like
me.
in jail.
I'll show
Right.
me I'm not a snitch.
It's
or I'm
pride,
not a-
man.
Yeah.
It's hood honor.
Yeah.
Hood
dude.
pride.
Yeah.
So, R.I.P. Nipsey
R.I.P.
Hussle,
Nipsey
and
Hussle.
Cardi B,
And Cardi B and
And
and Britney Spears.
Britney Spears' father.
Who was the other one? And Sam
And
Smith.
Kanye West.
Who does that say?
Sam Smith died. So in the news.
In the news, 5 questions for Kyle.
So we got Trey Hudson here sitting next to us, and
Looking good, feeling good.
looking good, feeling good, sexy as ever,
As I'll ever be in this.
as he will ever be.
This used to have sleeves.
Right, it once had sleeves. He cut them off on his way
Look
here, driving over here. He cut them off. So you mentioned some mental health and some drug addiction in your family. You grew up in a big family, right?
Yeah, I'm originally the baby. I'm my mom's baby.
Okay.
So I'm the youngest of 5. Growing up, we shared our 3-bedroom double wide, like all 5 kids sharing one bathroom,
Nice.
and my mom and
For Micah.
whoever she was married to,
Yeah.
sharing the other one.
Do you have a lot of stepdads?
I had a couple of stepdads, and then
Did you get along with
like
them?
some boyfriends. But my mom was in no way a floozy. Like she was.
No.
Yeah,
People just
no.
want
Yeah, is that what you were saying, John?
No. I don't think
Yeah,
that's what
what are you
I'm
trying to
saying.
say?
I just realized I'm rattling off dudes. I don't want to,
Right,
to
you
portray
just
my
wanna-
mom as like.
Right.
But I will say that she was definitely like on to the next one kind of lady.
Man.
The idea of like supporting kids on her own.
Yeah, when
Just
you
like,
have a bunch of kids and you're
yeah,
like,
you got a gang of kids.
you're like, I'm not just a mom
And
by
you're
trade.
addicted too. On top of that,
Yeah.
like you gotta support. You gotta
So your mom
support-
was
support.
addicted.
Yeah,
to-
so that wasn't like my stepdad actually got her into drugs,
Oh,
like
okay.
heavier drugs, like
Heroin.
drinking.
How old were you
and
when
shit
that was
like-
going down?
Probably
Old enough to hate him?
Yeah, well, I didn't dislike him. I didn't know all that shit was happening. I was so young.
Didn't understand
that I didn't
addiction
understand
either.
Exactly what
Yeah.
was happening. You know, you just see a closed door. You don't
Right.
necessarily know what's happening beyond that. You
Yeah.
just go like there and there.
Yeah.
Right.
They could be
I won't
doing
see
anything
him for
in
a
there.
while or whatever.
They could
We
have
just
slot
hang out, and we
machines.
just hang out in the neighborhood, like walk the creek bed, go to the cemetery,
Right.
like that kind of shit.
Put-
Country shit.
Put coins on
Poor
the
country shit.
railroad.
Yeah, exactly. Or take the railroad spikes. That's what
Take
I was doing.
yeah. I believe
I got
that.
all the kids in the neighborhood got a duffel bag because of October Sky or like some movie with Jake Gyllenhaal when he was a kid,
Yeah.
and they collected railroad spikes to save money to build rockets or something.
Oh
So then I
yeah,
got
it
the
was
idea-
October. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got the idea that they were worth money. So I got all the neighborhood kids together, and I was like, "Let's go find some."
You can sell them to. You can sell them to blacksmiths.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I got.
They make
them.
knives out of that. You know
Do they?
that? You don't mess with knives, do you? Rich people. Like never handled a knife in your life.
So yeah, that's what we did. But I didn't know what was happening behind closed doors. But yeah, I like my stepdad. His name is Terry Bell. They actually still kind of they're not dating or anything like that, but they still. live
He's
in
still
the same
around. How's he
town.
doing?
Yeah.
He kept using.
Yeah.
Like I saw him for the first time in like 15 years, dog.
Oh man.
Like last year, and he was on
Not-
some other shit.
Not looking good.
He's-
Not looking good. Still on speed. Just kind of like
Yeah.
helping around the house, like doing some outside.
At your
work.
mom's
Like,
house?
Yeah. Like
They're not
doing-
together though.
They're
you
not
know?
together. No.
But he still come around.
I guess he needs money or something, and she's like, "Oh, he could like trim the trees or something like that." So I was talking to him, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he was like, "Oh, you got older, you look big or something." I was like,
Yeah.
"You got old too, man." Like
Yeah.
trying to like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he
he's like,
like,
"I have shit. I ain't that old, man. I'm still out here." And
Yeah.
I
He
am-
took a
he
took a
said,
swing at you.
Yeah, he thought I was like actually just trying to like
being
disrespect
mean.
him or
Yeah.
something. And anyway, I was just like, whatever.
So when did you get into drugs?
I started drinking early, like
Nice.
12, 13.
Yeah.
Like drinking for the first time. Like my dad used to always drink Crown Royal. That was his
Yeah.
thing. He'd save the bags and everything.
I saved
That's
the bags
like
for a
he-
long
he was
time.
That's
have
the
a blanket.
classic.
He was gonna have like a
Move.
blanket made out.
That's
of
what I was gonna
it,
do. I was gonna
shit
make a
like-
suit or something. Yeah,
dude,
for Mardi
and,
Gras.
People don't even know what they do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just like sat around. And my dad,
Fetishizing
I was the
booze.
only one that lived with him at the time. My dad was like on pills and boozing and shit, and he would just leave. Like nobody was around a lot when I was growing up. So
Yeah.
I learned we just took care of each other, you know. But yeah, you get old enough, you're like, I'm gonna just fucking see what's up with this. You
Right.
know? So Crown Royal, got drunk for the first time. And it didn't take much when you were young, you know.
Nah.
You like take
Yeah.
a couple swigs, you're like,
Yeah.
"Ugh,
Already
I feel
feeling a
funny."
little-
Piles
Yeah.
up quick though.
Yeah,
Build
right.
that tolerance quick.
Yeah, you do. And
If you like it enough.
and Coors Light, because my uncle, who he didn't have a good relationship with, was a representative for Budweiser.
Oh, that's
So he's like,
nice.
you know what, fuck Budweiser, I'm drinking Coors Light now.
Yeah.
Fuck my brother, you know.
That's
So,
weird.
Yeah, Coors Light and Crown Royal.
Well, just over a feud, you know, like this is what we drink now.
Yeah, totally.
You know,
Yeah.
we drank.
Well, that's wrapped up in your identity of like who you are, if that's what.
Believe
you're
me,
doing,
I
you
know.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So, he's like, yeah.
We were
this
big
is who I
fans
am.
of Bush and Keystone and all those like big bricks of beer,
Yeah.
30
Yeah.
packs.
We'd get them for parties
Remember
and
Keystone
stuff. Yeah.
Ice and the black cans?
Man,
Yeah.
I do. And
do.
And it kind of tasted like you were chewing it.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
such a headache.
Yeah, but
Like
yeah,
a
you wanted to be hard. Like, I
splitting
wanted to be
headache.
hard when I
Yeah,
was
you
Had
wanted
higher
the-
alcohol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you were the guy with the full flavor of anything, yeah, it was like you
Well, it had-
felt like
it had-
harder,
like, oh,
yeah,
it had
like the
more Bud Light.
Budweiser
Yeah,
instead
exactly.
of the.
We would do
Bud
the
Light,
math
yeah.
on it, and like a 30 pack of Keystone versus a 30 pack of Keystone Ice.
It was
A 30
cheap- it was
pack.
actually cheaper,
It was
I think.
cheaper.
Alcohol
Yeah.
wise,
And they
like,
made tall boys.
yeah,
And
came in tall.
so a 30
Right.
pack of ice like ended up being like 42 beers or something
because of the alcohol
Yeah.
content, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's just like you're frugal when you're a
yeah,
kid.
exactly.
But Coors Light, man.
So you're doing that, you're partying,
Yeah, I'm partying, and I just wanted to be the fun guy. I still
Yeah.
am lighthearted. I
Same.
mean, that's just a part of.
yeah,
I think growing up, being the youngest in the house that I grew up in, there was a lot of tension, and
Yeah.
I was the one that's just like, hey, let
You're
me
like-
come in real quick and lighten this up
Yeah.
a little
Right,
Like
bit.
it
right.
could all go down at any minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I still have that relationship with my mom.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have to say shit to me. We don't have to talk about anything that happened. I got you.
Yeah.
And we're just going to do right now.
right,
You know what I mean?
right,
And I was that way when I was young. So that carried over into the party days too, where it's like, I just want to not care because I cared a lot. Right? So
Right.
I wanted to simulate what it would feel like if I just didn't give a fuck.
yeah,
So when I could, I wanted to like control that and be like, all right, this is me pretending I don't care about shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
right.
In the moment, I didn't think about it that way. It's just like,
No,
let's have an
yeah,
experience.
Let's be
Like, let me
carefree,
go do
yeah.
that, yeah. And it didn't morph into anything heavier until college, probably.
okay. And that went to heroin.
No, I
Or-
mean, heroin was like the thing. I was more of, so my sister OD'd on cocaine. So I was
Okay.
like, I don't want to fuck with that. When I was 19, my dad died on pills. So I was like, I don't really want to fuck with that. So I got into like psychedelics. And
I could see that.
ecstasy.
I could see that.
Yeah.
And shit like I was I had my hippie days. I had like my punk days.
Yeah.
I had phases of whatever I was doing.
Right, right.
But psychedelics were heavy and
What was your
Also-
favorite?
acid for sure.
I never did acid.
I've never
I was
done acid
too
either.
much
I
of a pussy.
did a lot of
The
shrooms.
chicken.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
believe that?
Yeah. Acid was one for sure. Like benders. Like acid benders.
Yeah, like days and days.
Yeah, like I would be the only one tripping.
Right.
Like that kind of
It's like my nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like I can't think of a
It
trip
was.
that wasn't challenging, like super challenging.
Right.
People were, and at the time you're kind of learning how to take drugs with other people.
Yeah.
It's like this is supposed to be fun or whatever, and I would just like disappear for a bit.
Where were
be
you?
by myself. I was in San Marcos.
Okay, you were at Texas State?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at Texas.
You do. You learn how to manage psychedelics, but like I would
You
do shrooms.
But in the beginning, it could be terrifying.
It's
Just-
terrifying, and then you're like, okay, I learned from that. Like, let me
Right.
analyze that. Like,
Right.
maybe this person's kind of bad for. Maybe I don't even really like them sober, but they're
Yeah.
really a
it's
drag.
Like,
Like,
physiologically, something's happening to you because of the drug, but you learn socially how to act on it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
How to manage it or what you're supposed to do.
how to get along.
And what's funny though is that when I decided to get sober, I was on acid in Orcas Island off the coast of Washington.
Okay.
Okay.
And It was a different phase. I was living in Portland at the time, and this is like the heaviest drinking. It was like I always drink heavy, but I quit all the other drugs, so I was like, oh, but I'm just drinking. You know what I mean?
Right.
As you do.
It's just legal alcohol. Yeah.
That I'm just drinking, and it's so socially accepted that you're not going to think, you know,
I'm just like everybody else.
You can get it on every corner.
Yeah, totally. Anywhere, all the time.
Anywhere, all the time.
And that's how you build your friendships and your identity and everything.
Sure.
So the thought of losing that's pretty scary. But yeah, I was tripping, and I was like realizing my cycle of thought was always on drinking and all the things that I'm not doing because I'm partying or whatever. And that moment, I was like, done. After this, as soon as this trip is done, I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
It didn't happen that gracefully.
Right.
As
it never does.
I was sober for like 6 months, and then I actually like fit all my life into a backpack.
That's a long time to last your first try.
Yeah.
Not knowing any other sober people and just like white knuckling sobriety. A lot of people don't make it 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. So I quit smoking cigarettes too. I was like, I got to do both at the same time. There's no way I'm gonna
gotta cut it all out.
But weed's legal in Oregon, so I was like hitting the pipe once in the morning, like once at night or whatever. That helped me manage socially for a while. But then I fucking left everything and went to Latin America for a bit. And like a month in, I was like back on everything.
Yeah.
It's different. I was like doing cocaine in Nicaragua.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just, you don't know anyone, and that's the only way I knew how to meet people.
Right.
And so being there,
it's like a cheat code to get in there and meet people.
Too,
yeah.
So then it's like.
Yeah, you're in a different world. You're like, nobody knows me.
Right.
Nobody can really get a
But
hold
here's
of
a
me.
common language, cocaine.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like I'm in a dream. I can do whatever
and
over here.
also, to be real, like even all my sexual experiences, I was like, have I had sex that didn't start with party?
Right.
And then
being all
right, or at least meeting someone that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then that was another thing of like seeing someone that I wanted to have sex with and thinking they're not going to understand me if I'm not going to the party.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do I bridge that
right.
gap?
Well,
There's
like
no
you said,
way.
it's your identity too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
that's a weird thing to do.
I'm out on an island and I'm clinging to the things I know, and that was it.
Yeah.
So that
sober sex that's a different animal, man.
It is.
That's
but it's so badass.
Yeah,
it
is.
So much
but
better.
live
tenfold better.
Even having like
drunken sex.
Yeah,
sounds
but
terrible.
In the beginning, I was like, man, this shit is way too HD surround sound. Like I need a breather for a minute because
it's like it's also emotionally. Like being in that moment.
And that's scary.
And not dumbing everything down and doling your senses enough to just kind of be separate.
It's overwhelming when you're first like learning how to do that shit. All those emotions you're so in it. But
so then I moved back to Austin. I was doing this.
Floodlights are on.
Months, moved back to Austin. Well, actually, I spent a month in the Dallas area seeing my family, and that continued. I kept drinking, and then I moved back to Austin. First night I was back, I saw all my old homies. We drank, got fucked up, and second night I was like, that's it. I haven't drank since.
Did anything spurn that? Did you like show your dick to a cop or anything?
No, it wasn't anything like that. I just realized like I created an allowance for myself in the moment. I'm traveling, I could justify it. Maybe I could wrap my head around it, but because of all of my other experiences, I knew like this decision today is so important for my future that I like. What's my excuse now?
And so, how much time do you have now?
August of 2016.
So you got a little chunk of change.
Yeah, like 2.5 years.
And you did, man. You got sober because you wanted to establish a more solid foundation to build a life on. And you're doing that, right?
Yeah.
You just become a new homeowner.
Yeah. Just got married and divorced in the same year.
Did two big life accomplishments. Yeah. Two big life-changing events,
Shout out Cora.
Got them done, doing them rapid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, rest in peace, Cora.
Rest in peace, Cora, Nipsey, Cardi B, and this Little Crispy.
It's also, too, like, creatively, okay, because I can't talk about it without talking about art and making art. Creatively, I realized I was using partying as a crutch to not do anything.
Yeah.
Right? I was a person who was a writer for like 10 years before I wrote anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was that full, like, traveling.
You're like, I would like to do this.
And
so.
I wrote a lot in my head, right?
Right.
Just like, I thought what I thought was beautiful thoughts, but they never went anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, oh, I'd write a poem every now and then, or
I was
I'd do this every now
I was
and
a
then.
painter. You know, I was like tattooing and drinking like a fish and like, but yeah, I'm also a painter. But I would paint. There's a couple paintings that come to mind that I could picture, but it was just dumb, like kind of hip hop related.
Right.
Shit. I remember
Whatever you're getting at.
I remember painting casseroles, everything around me, you know, real big, and like I had some like painted like a naked chick, but it was real ugly, and I didn't really reference anything.
There wasn't anything about
it was hideous, and it was like in ugly colors, and it's like, yeah, I'm a painter.
Yeah.
Shitty paints.
Yeah, and I'd write like short poems when I was traveling or something like that, and I'd be like, that was good, but it was like one in a year, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, that's dope or something like that.
Right.
What would the poems?
And then
be
hate
about?
it the next day.
Usually about like observational stuff. I'm the Inspector Deck of Wu-Tang, if I'm referencing any writing style. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
let me see, bullet holes in the window. This thing connects to that thing, but I think in general, if anything's carried, it's that I'm not really trying to say anything in particular in it. But yeah, I kind of realized I needed to take responsibility for my time in a different way. That was a huge motivator for me.
And you have, man. I don't think it's that cut and dry and quick and easy, but it certainly will put you on the right track when you get sober. There's no... Now, this isn't to say if you don't have a problem with drugs or alcohol that it's impossible to build a life for yourself or...
Yeah, no.
You know, but I think that you're going to have a real tough time, and generally speaking, things are going to get better than they are, or worse than they are better.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
So...
And yeah, I remember at that time of like partying and shit, of like holding. I remember anger being the emotion that I didn't realize I had, and so I didn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think I was an angry person at all.
Right.
And then one day I didn't feel angry anymore, and I was like, "Fuck, dude! I've been angry since I was like a baby." I was like an angry baby.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think about myself.
It's like how you see people, like the lens that you view people through, your level of compassion and empathy. You're like,
right. And I was like, man, I've been frustrated and angry for a while, and I didn't even know I felt that way. And that was like a very freeing feeling. It's like, how am I gonna do this? Or like when you get into art or something, you're like, how am I gonna be a blank? Like put whatever creative outlet that is.
Yeah.
And I remember when I got sober, I was talking to this fucking badass keyboard player that shared the basement that I like lived in, and
y'all both. What is it now?
well, I lived in a garage right before I went to Columbia, and I was paying my friend like $100 a month to just put a cot in the garage because he just bought a house, and I was trying to save money to travel.
Yeah.
So I was working 2 jobs, being sober, throwing all my money away so I could just leave and not work for like half a year.
And he like lived in the garage with you?
Yeah, so he would travel around, and there was like an actual room in the basement in the Northwest, and I like took the garage. We were like walking in the neighborhood, and I had this realization, and I was like, why am I thinking about what it takes to be something? It's like the only way that you are something is by doing it.
Right.
It's like people feel weird about being like, I'm a writer.
Yeah.
Like, what makes you a writer?
You
the
write.
fact that you put something on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Like, that's what makes you a writer. Nobody else is going to determine that for you.
Right.
And like realizing that, I was like, fuck, I just got to do it.
Yeah, it's a pretty intelligent thought.
I just got to do it, you know? That's it.
I couldn't think about, you know, Mom was like, how do I scrub blood that I puked up out of the pillowcase?
This is when he was sober, right?
Yeah,
you had
it
this
was right
you
after
had
I
this
got
thought
sober.
sober.
Yeah, it was right
well,
after
even
I got
then,
sober, I was thinking
even
about
right after I got sober, it's like,
Yeah.
just stupid. Just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, look,
Got a piece of rent together this month.
I got a job at Walgreens, like when I first got sober, and I had no idea how to work
Right.
for somebody, much less an institution, you know. And the sober house that I was in, the guy was like, "You need to go get a job." And I was like, I can do art though, you know. He's like, "What did you do before?" And I was like, "I was a tattooer, but I don't want to go back to that, you know."
Yeah.
I had enough smart to
Not do that again.
Not do that again. But I was like, let me do art. But I'd never tried to do art, to make a living doing art. And I think he saw that. A guy named Bob D. And he was like, go get a job. So I didn't have a vehicle. Worked at Walgreens and
slowly pieced it together.
Yeah.
quit.
And then quit.
And then quit.
Like
Yeah, get a job just so you could quit it. That's probably what Bob D was thinking.
Get married just so you can get divorced.
Just
So that leads up to something you can promote now with what you've been writing.
Yeah, so me and my writing partner, Andrew Hilbert, photo of him right there.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, just right there.
Yeah.
We created this universe called the Cockroach Conservatory. And John actually
did some illustrations.
Like a lot of illustrations.
Mm-hmm.
We fucking banged them out, and they're fucking dope. In the second issue, and we're working on our third issue now. Our whole thing is that we curate contemporary short fiction writers, poets, visual artists. We put them all in one place to center around our narrative and our theme and whatever's going, piece it together. And everyone takes a different format. So the first book was like 6x9 newspaper print, totally different style. The second one was edited by one of our characters, Fearbot 3000, who just gained enough sentience to be creative. So it's like pieced together and like shit's kind of off center every now and then, right?
Yeah.
And that's 8.5 by 11.
Yeah.
And then the third one that we're working on is made by a nanobot who is this like real clear, concise character that is gonna put it. This is his manifesto. This is his.
Okay.
Like he's gonna put columns in there. Like everything's just gonna be pristine, and it's actually gonna be in a DVD case.
Nice.
And
So they're getting increasingly sharper,
yeah,
cleaner.
the book is the booklet insert.
Okay.
That goes in the DVD case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? And it's cool because it's actually based on like, you'll know if you read it, but it's like PS2, Sega Dreamcast is going to be in there. So it's actually in a DVD case, but with the idea of it being a PS2 game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone played video games growing up, but you
Yeah.
have alternate covers too.
I don't know if anyone played video games.
Does anyone know what a video game is? Let me explain that.
We have no idea who listens to this podcast. We don't really know our target demographic. So
But one of them's played video games.
It's possible none of them have.
But
maybe
into PS2 enough to know that sometimes the cover jacket and the booklet covers don't match too.
Right.
So down to every little detail, it's gonna be like a PS2.
Right on. That sounds cool.
And the idea is to fucking pay people. That's what our mission.
Yeah.
Pay artists, pay writers, young artists out there. Fucking charge for your shit. Your time is worth something, and you're making everybody look bad.
And you were big on that when you hired me. You were like, I don't want this isn't a favor.
Yeah, because you're a friend. I didn't want it to be. I wanted to let you know that this is it's business too, and we're gonna appreciate what you do and pay you for what you do.
Yep. So Trey pays. So get at him if you're out here in the Austin area.
We actually pay 8 cents a word for short stories up to 3,000 words, and that's better than the industry pro rate. And we pay.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
$15 minimum for a poem.
Drug money,
or
man.
$1 per line.
What does where does somebody? So you're on Instagram. I know that.
Yeah, we don't post too much on that, but
Okay.
cockroachconservatory.com.
Okay, good.
cockroachconservatory.com. And that'll have links to when we open submissions for the next volume.
Awesome.
There's going to be
And we'll link
planned
that
out
below.
The
Yeah.
story for.
You're gonna have to do some guerrilla marketing for that website.
I know, right?
Right.
It looks like a guerrilla website.
Well, the website is linked
It's
below
actually
here,
got
so.
Blogspot. So that's like you could just put it.
Right,
put it
yeah.
you look, it's like whatever basic form there is for a website, but yeah, the money goes to in the books mostly.
Right on.
It's cool.
Awesome.
They're fun. They're fun. I have one. I think it's up there in my bookcase.
Oh yeah, you got the number 2. Actually.
Yeah, I got a couple as well. I had some Mad Shade. Got some Mad Shade mags too.
Oh yeah, Mad Shade. I forgot about Mad Shade. That's where it all started.
That's where it all started.
Yep.
Yeah, Laser was in Mad Shade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mad Shave was a zine that you did, right before this.
I paid nobody. I had a different mission.
Yeah, different mission. Take from all. Yeah.
The mission. That's when I learned. Like I was a baby then.
So it took that to learn this.
You sold people in press. You're like, hey, you put this in your resume.
Yeah.
That's a go-to line.
I didn't even know to give contributor copies for free at first. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was like
Laser's trying to say something. She's not.
That was cool though.
it.
Y'all did some, huh?
We check your phone.
Yeah, y'all did some cool events at Radio Coffee and Beer went for that, which were cool.
Radio Coffee and
yeah.
Beer. Radio Coffee and Beer.
Right on.
But yeah, so that's coming out soon. You can find it at Raw Paw in town. I think that's our collective to fucking throw out there.
Raw Paw. Did that place, this is like way off topic, but didn't that place, I'm unclear of what Raw Paw is, but didn't it burn to the ground, whatever it is?
They actually had a fire and
What's
it
Raw Paw?
ruined a lot of their printers. So they're a collective of artists that used to put out zines and art books.
In Austin?
In Austin. The screen print, I think it's been over a decade.
Not affiliated with Raw events.
No, not raw events. I don't think so.
Do you know what I'm talking about? The Raw event.
It's terrible.
You've told me about it. Yeah.
Scam.
Like WWE.
Laurel.
Hey,
No.
young art. I feel like I need to address this.
Yeah.
Raw events. If you're a young artist, they will they'll find you and they'll contact you and they'll butter you up and make you feel like your shit's so fire that they need to contact you to join their event, and then you find out that they're going to want you to sell tickets to it, and
Sell
then
your own certain amount of tickets,
Sell
or
10
pay the rest of it.
or pay,
$300.
Yeah.
and then you're going to be crammed in some sort of center,
Warehouse type place.
or a bar or
bar,
whatever.
yeah.
Cram all these people.
I went to one at Emo's.
like a flea market booth, and then it's a big dice roll if you sell anything. Because the thing is, the people that go to it, I know it sounds like I'm like ranting right now. The people that go to it,
You are.
that are gonna look at your work are the people you sold tickets to, your family members.
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But the other people's family members don't
Care about yours.
They don't
That's
care
the
about
other
your
thing too.
work.
Publications, I should say, normally charge submission fees too. Mm-hmm. Like maybe not normally, but it's pretty common.
Yeah.
And they'll charge authors let's say $5 to submit.
Yeah.
Right?
Everybody wants a nickel.
We don't charge submission fees. When you charge submission fees, you're getting like a leisure class
Yeah.
hobbyist is what Andrew called it.
Right.
You get like writers.
Leisure
that are like,
class
Let's
hobbyist.
see if this will get accepted and we'll pay. Like you're alienating somebody possibly for not
Right.
paying that submission fee.
Yeah.
Right. And we got 1,000 submissions.
I think it's.
man,
If
I
we
think
charge a
awesome.
submission fee, we'd be like
Rich.
rolling in it.
Yeah.
Right.
You get a new
Meanwhile, we're
shirt.
Using our tips.
Yeah. Right.
Like even put the books out so we could actually pay people to do it. We're big on the working class.
Yeah, but
Right.
y'all are also on that Patreon tip, and we need to get on that. We need to, go to Egomaniac podcast.
So where can they go to? Where can young men and women go to? So that's where they go to check out.
I like how you worded that.
So,
Yeah. So where can they
So
go?
if you're writing
Young
and you got
men
your
and
shit
women.
and then your fucking sock drawer and you're like
Yeah.
keeping your writings and nobody sees it, and I'm saying that we're featuring like some of the best shit I've ever read in
Right.
my life, like contemporary.
You think there's some young Jack Frost out there?
Dude, I'm not even kidding. Like, there's one guy, Michael Robertson. He lives in New York, and he submits for us, and we publish him every single time. He didn't make it this time. His story was like didn't fit with what we were doing, but his shit is like fucking bizarre and it's brilliant. And I don't know if he's out there submitting to other people or not. I'm sure
that's what I was
he
just
is.
curious about.
But some of the best shit I've ever read.
How did he come across you guys?
So you submit like your guidelines on our website, right?
Yeah.
And there are other websites that are built to take this data and throw it, like one website is Submission Grinder. So writers can go there. There's all these subcategories like horror, science fiction, literary, like straight poetry, whatever. And you could search terms based on word length, how much they pay.
Nice.
Everything. Like you just find whatever. So
Awesome.
if you got something fucking sitting in your sock drawer, put it out there. Don't pay submission fees.
You hear that
Don't-
word
don't-
up.
Don't,
If you didn't gather
don't
it,
support all that.
rewind on the YouTube. You can double tap the side of your screen and it'll go back 10 seconds.
Right.
Did you know that?
And you can just also shuffle it into Radio Coffee and Beer and look for this guy. Or Andrew, I think, is the manager, right?
Yeah.
I thought Jack was the manager.
No. Jack's like a shift lead or something. Yeah, shift
lead. The
lead.
guy that looks French said Jack was the manager.
He was probably the manager at that time, the shift lead, right? Yeah.
Jack gets away with murder up there, right? He even work.
That's right. No. He works for sure.
Yeah.
Look at that. Passive hand gesture.
No, that's my future roommate. He does the most work. He's great.
Yeah,
Right.
it's so strange. Well,
and
cool.
so where the other question was, so they go to cockroachconservatory.com. We'll have a link below. Where do young men and women go to find you in the single dating pool? On Tinder or Bumble? Walk up in radio? Common interest?
IRL. You can meet me IRL.
Okay, yeah.
I've never been on a dating app. I'm not clowning on it.
Right.
I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
So maybe one day you'll see.
So you can stalk Trey at radio or ABP.
Or my house.
Or his house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm texting Laser about the.
Do y'all like that, viewers? Do y'all like to watch John text Laser?
What?
Hey, look, I'll just say,
All right,
write the amount of time is that it right there?
Well, I
It's
think
almost 2 hours.
I think we're wrapping up. I think we're done, right?
1.5 hours? Is that it?
No, I wrote it stupidly, but I already had that written.
So, all right.
50 minutes.
Thank you for joining us on episode 6. Thank you so much, Trey Hudson.
Thank you guys
Trey,
for having me.
baby. That's what everybody calls you.
Trey Bebe.
Behind my back. That's a good name.
Trey, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Behind
we're
his
gonna
back,
go
they
eat
call him
Thai
that,
food,
yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah, we're going to go to Sour Sop.
It's super solid.
In the yard where Raw Paw's located.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks
Cool.
thanks for coming on Egomaniac Podcast.
Please subscribe.
All right,
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
On the road to 100 subs. We get.
We have plenty of DOMs. On the road to 100 subscribers.
We talked about this last time. We get 100 subscribers. We get more functions on our YouTube.
Privileges. Give white men more privileges.
Those functions don't necessarily benefit the viewer directly, but they do benefit the viewer indirectly. They help us with the page, and we kind of need them. So if you could share the video, share your favorite episode, doesn't matter, but every subscription helps us immensely.
Right.
Really.
And it's just clicking that red little button, and it
That's all
won't
it
bother
is.
you unless if you want it to bother you, you hit that little
And if-
bell. And
Yeah,
you'll
if
get
you want to
notified.
go double time like some people, you can hit the little bell and you'll get a little bing bong on your phone.
Yeah.
And we don't put out 9 videos a day.
No, we won't bother you. It's
You'll
like
get
once a week, once every couple weeks. Yeah.
Right. So we're trying to put out a good amount of content once a week. This is
You guys are being prolific. Y'all are putting out a bunch of shit.
we're a 3-person staff right now, you know? So we're doing it. We're doing the damn thing.
Yeah. One
that
person
it?
editor right now, but we're gonna up that soon.
R.I.P. Mystical.
Dipsy Flow,
Mr. Cow.
Mystical. He's in prison.
R.I.P.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he raped somebody. I think.
Oh, my God, dude.
Shit.
We were just listening to Mr. Cow
God.
last night.
Down
I
and not
know.
anymore.
It puts a
You can't.
different spin on all that stuff, man. I came in with my dick in my hand, and it's like, whoa, man,
made me
turn this off.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
yeah. Yeah,
Mystical's credibility.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks for coming on Egomaniac Podcast.
5 questions for Kyle.
5 questions for Kyle.